Eric Peterson on Williston Trending Topics, News Radio Live.
Hello to you, Williston Trending Topics, News Radio Live, Coyote Radio 98.5 FM. Every Tuesday morning, we talk with Eric Peterson about real estate, not just in the Williston area, but in the region and in the nation. Eric Peterson with Proven Realty EXP. Good morning, Eric. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. How about you, Tom?
Doing fantastic, but I'll get better. What should homeowners focus on when getting their house ready for spring and for selling? That's the topic today.
That's right. First of all, happy spring. It seems like it's finally here. We've had some really good weather lately. And the first thing that I would do is tell you to be careful with all the water. We've obviously had a ton of snow this year. The last couple of springs homeowners were left with major flooding. That's going to come in through your groundwater, sometimes through your crawl space. So make sure that your sump pump's plugged in. We've seen a lot of issues with those where the basement floods. We all remember the last couple of springs, we had people that had water flowing through their basement windows because the groundwater was so high, snow melted quickly. So if you still have snow, get it away from your house. If you have water in your basements, make sure to check on that. Check into your crawl space as well. And then really more than anything, start making sure that your gutters are decluttered. We've had a lot of new roofs over the years. It's been a pretty crazy winter. So a lot of the material that's on the roof will go into your gutters, clog it up, whether that's leaves or other things. So make sure that your gutters are decluttered. Also, as you're cleaning for your house to get it ready, especially if you have it listed for sale, it's a super hot market right now for sellers. So if you're a seller thinking about selling your house, get it ready, get it decluttered, make sure everything that's clean, and then also create that curb appeal, if you will. If you need to, get rid of some of the garbage that's blown in, get rid of some of the old leaves that have fallen down. Make sure that you have a clear path to your house that people could get in there if you're looking to show it. And then also just make sure as people are going around the house that it's easy to tour your house, that it's not cluttered, that your pathways are okay, that you have railings up in those areas where people might need to go downstairs or upstairs as well. And then more than anything, just make sure that all of your safety features are actively working. That would be make sure that the batteries aren't chirping in your fire detector or your carbon monoxide detection systems. And then really more than anything, just make sure that the house is ready for sale.
It seems too obvious to even mention, but I've got to mention it because some people just blow it off and forget about it, how important a deep clean is of your home when you're putting it up for sale. How important it is when people come in that they don't see things not tidy, not clean. It should be white gloved clean, shouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Keep it clean. The first thing everybody notices right away is the smell. So especially if you have pets, obviously open up the windows, get it a deep clean, get everything bleached out or cleaned, whatever your preference would be. But that's really the first thing when you step into a house is how does it smell? Because immediately, if it doesn't smell like somebody could move their own family in there easily, then that's going to be tough. So absolutely make sure that it's clean, deep clean. Change your furnace filters, if you will. If you have a dishwasher, make sure that's clean. Some people will open that up, make sure that your fridge looks good. Believe it or not, I've seen a lot of people on tour open the fridges and cabinets in the oven just to take a look to see how the homeowner lives, if you will. And then just make sure that all of your pet mess is gone as well, either outside, inside, and hair as well.
We hear the term enhance natural lighting. What does that mean? Yep. How do you do that?
Yeah, so it really depends on your space, of course, but especially in the daylight basements and those darker areas downstairs, just make sure that the windows are open. Make sure that you have really good lights. They make cheap LED lights now that give you more of a natural feel. So just make sure that all of the bulbs are full, that you have your light in the best visibility if you can. And then sometimes just creating a mood lighting as well, just depending on the space, really enhances the experience of somebody walking through.
What about plants and flowers? Should you have those? Should you have real ones? Should you have fake ones? Does it matter?
Yeah, so to me, as long as they're alive and they look good, it's a great benefit. It makes it feel cozier and more like somebody's home. So plants are great if they're in good shape. Cut away all the leaves. Make sure that you don't have animals pooping in them. We had that at one particular thing that the homeowner didn't know about. But yeah, make sure that the plants are good. Make sure that they're not blocking any of the walkways, of course. And then just make sure that the whole place is freshened up.
How do you pay attention to the outside of the house before they get in there? They've got a first impression, right? And that's the outside of the house.
Yeah, having a little curb appeal makes a lot of sense as well. Make sure that you're cleaning up, as we mentioned, the garbages, that the pathways are swept off, that there's no snow blocking the way. That's been a big problem this winter, especially on some of these abandoned and vacant properties. We have one just north of town where they've had 6-foot snow drifts, so nobody could get in to view the house. So make sure that the snow's gone, that the paths are cleaned, and that somebody safely can get into your house. And when they walk up to it, is this a place that they want to live in? That's something you've got to consider when working on the outside and getting it ready for sale.
Eric Peterson, Proven Realty EXP, with us every Tuesday morning here on Coyote Radio 98.5 FM and Williston Trending Topics News Radio Live. We hear a lot, Eric, about the phrase staging the interior. What does that mean?
Yep.
How do you do that?
Yeah, staging the interior, if it's a vacant house, by putting your furniture in there and giving people a homing feel that they can live in and kind of see how the layout is going to go, is really helpful. There are staging companies in most major markets. We don't really have anybody that does that here anymore. One of my business partners, Lucas, used to do it back in the day and had a big van and would move around furniture, and it was a great way to get people in there and see the house and get a good feel for it. But in most cases, I would say take away all of your extra furniture, extra cabinets, get them out of the house in storage, open up your space, make it feel bigger, and just make it so that it's a minimalistic approach. And also the same thing with some of your personal effects as well. It's a lot better to take your personal pictures off the walls, maybe your name picture that you had made or when you moved in, just to try to keep it less personal, because people always want to see their family and maybe their kids in there or their significant others as well. And you just don't want them to feel like, oh, this is somebody else's home. This is where they live. We can't see ourselves there. So very, very important.
In advertising, when you do print advertising, you want a lot of white space to make it feel like it's uncluttered. The white space inside your home is just as important.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the white space. It makes the walls look bigger. It makes the floors look bigger, taking away some of the extra furniture just to kind of open it up. And then specifically, it's one of those things, the more that people can see the white walls, if that's your color of choice, then it just feels cleaner a lot of times as well and not as cluttered.
Is a coat of paint, fresh paint, one of the less expensive things you can do to boost the appeal of your home?
Yeah, usually it is. It depends on the color of the paint, of course, right? So we definitely recommend getting away from not getting away from the neutral color. Stay with something that people aren't going to have to come in and repaint. But at the end of the day, it's a very hot market right now for sellers. There's multiple bids. Again, if you're taking good pictures, if you're marketing it right, if you're doing all of those extra things, that's really what's going to separate your house from the field and get more people in there and excited and get in those bidding wars. And we would highly recommend, if your house is in good shape and in new condition, having a 3D Matterport done. We've all seen those. That allows people from the comfort of their own home to kind of get a feel of the house, click on those blue dots on the floor, and then just envision their family and their furniture in there.
Next week, let's talk about common mistakes that people make in getting their home ready for spring, getting the home ready to sell during the spring. How about that?
Yeah, sounds great. Perfect topic. The weather's getting better, of course, a lot of activity. And be happy to talk to you again.
All right. Thanks. It's good to talk with you,
Thanks
Eric.
Again.
Proven Realty EXP, with us every Tuesday morning here on Coyote Radio.